Hey, what's going on, everybody? For everybody who is joining in or even just watching this live, I just want to say I'm just getting right into it. I'm not going to really kind of wait at all. So for anybody who does join in on this live stream, welcome. I hope everybody's having a great day or a great night wherever you guys are. So today we're actually going to be talking about pretty much the market live. We're going to analyze a few things live because I personally haven't gone live in a very long time. So I thought, you know what, why not? Let's do it. Let's see, what we could pretty much, talk about with stuff like that. So we are mainly going to be talking about the overall market structure on what we're doing, what I plan on seeing in the market as well. And also analyzing HBAR and XRP specifically because those are two main assets that I've been talking about for quite some time on this channel. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So first and foremost, the market itself, like if we're talking about the indices, like they're actually not doing that great. Like we even seen here, right? That the S&P 500 actually closed 23.87 points below. And we also see the Dow Jones also dropped 149 points as well. So stocks didn't have that great of a day today, but what is having a great day is Bitcoin. If we actually come over to the Bitcoin chart, we do see here that we are pumping into that zone that I labeled on my previous video when I was talking about Bitcoin, where I would like to see it personally. And right now, for me personally, I want to see Bitcoin back over this 45K zone almost, which I know that there's still a lot of room to make up on Bitcoin currently, but that would basically put us above the 50, 100, and also the 200-day MA. That's where we will see a lot of pumpages on, most altcoins. Like altcoins right now are actually moving, but there's nothing really to get excited about on most alts, including HBAR and also XRP. We're going to be talking about that here shortly. So when we're talking about Bitcoin, I did tweet out recently, talking about how we could see, Bitcoin kind of range in this level here for quite some time. I still believe that. I still think that by the end of August, that's when things will actually start to move because we still have quite a bit of time to get to that all-time high, which is still, about $15,000 or $25,000 ahead of us. So we still have a lot of time until we actually are back into the idea of, hey, we're in euphoria, we're mooning, we're going to an all-time high, let's celebrate. So we have quite a bit of time left on that. Now, if we're talking about Bitcoin dominance, this is kind of what worries me right now with Bitcoin because we are, ranging into a weekend. Weekends are usually bloodbaths. It's nothing new. If you guys have been in crypto, you guys understand that every single weekend we usually drop on Bitcoin. Sometimes we do get a little bit of a green weekend, but that usually leads us into a red week. So I would like to see us, honestly, this would be great if Bitcoin could have a slight pullback here. Maybe we could pull back to about 36.4K, somewhere around there. That would be great. Pretty much range on support, bounce off of it, and come back up and pretty much clear an all-time, well, a current high, I should say, not an all-time high, but a current high of about like 45K plus that we haven't seen even since, back in May. So I think that would be great. That would be healthy if we did pull back to have a little bit of a correction, which I know a lot of people are going to say, a correction after having a major correction. Like, come on, what are you talking about? It's not really a correction. It's more so pulling back to a healthy support, finding support at that level, and then pretty much coming back up and regaining a higher high. Now, if we're talking about dominance, yes, dominance is very high, so that means most altcoins, including HBAR and also XRP, will drop significantly in price. Now, I know a lot of people will probably ask, hey, where do you see HBAR and XRP going if we do drop to about 36K? Well, it wouldn't be too bad of a drop. Like even on HBAR, right? We did reject off of 23 cents, which I said we need to break 23 cents and actually hold above it for us to really be into that, moment of, hey, we're going to 30 cents plus, we're going to retest an all-time high and go into price discovery. That probably won't happen until about the end of August into the beginning of September, which I know a lot of people don't want to hear that because, hey, we've already been patient for what seems like forever now. But it is what it is. You got to have patience in this game to really win. But we do reject off of pretty much almost every single support line or resistance line, and then we slowly build back up above it. For an example, 20 cents was our main resistance point for a very long time, and then we eventually broke above it. Currently, right now, We did reject off of 23 cents, which I said is a huge resistance point that we do need to break out of. And we also rejected off of the 100-day MA, which is at about 22.6 cents. So until we get up into this zone here, I am not going to be happy with the price action on HBAR. Sure, we are seeing some green, which is great. We've been in red for so long and we've been accumulating, but now we are seeing some gains on HBAR, so it is exciting for some people. But if you guys know me, I'm not going to get excited over small pumps or anything like that. The real pumpage is when we get to the all-time high, go into price discovery, and then that's when we range to about 50 cents plus to get to that dollar plus eventually. Now, talking about XRP is pretty much in the same boat, right? We have been rejecting off of this 200-day MA and also about 80 cents for quite some time. So until we get above 79 cents to 80 cents, hold above that, we're not going to be doing too much things, right? So most altcoins actually look very similar to this. They look like they are ranging on support. They look like they are hitting resistance points and pretty much breaking down from that. Bitcoin actually looks exactly the same. Look at this. We are basically ranging on the support here, and we are rejecting off of 42K, which has been a significant resistance level even going back to the beginning of, or the end of May, almost the beginning of June. So a lot of these altcoins, a lot of these assets are doing the same thing. They're kind of following Bitcoin for the most part. So we aren't going to see any sort of real moves in the market on most altcoins and even Bitcoin. Like, I see a lot of people, they're already saying, hey, I'm longing Bitcoin here, I'm putting $1 million in. Like, I've seen some crazy stuff on Twitter already just because of this a little bit of a pump on Bitcoin. But of course, hey, that's the crypto market, right? We move up a little bit and everybody's ecstatic. Now, one thing there is to note is that the dollar is also gaining some strength, right? So we did get a major sell-off on the US dollar yesterday, as we do see here. Now, this is very funny to see because now we do see a lot of people worried and concerned about the bull market ranging into maybe a possible another US lockdown. And if you guys know, the March 2020 drop, that was very significant and very bad. Basically, what happened because of COVID lockdowns. So, a lot of people don't want to see another lockdown. I don't want to see another lockdown. I think that it's useless. But if we do see, pushed agenda from the media that we need to have another lockdown, the US dollar will range higher, and that's when stocks and crypto will pretty much collapse. But I do think that we have some time until we see that, right? First off, I don't think that a lockdown is most likely going to happen. I think that that's kind of out of the question, especially when we're talking about, the Fed trying to save the GDP and pretty much save the economy and push, these interest rates further and further along. So I do think that we still have some time before any crash happens on the stock exchange. We're seeing, stocks pretty much rally and hold strong at these support zones as well, even talking about the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. So those are holding strong, which means crypto is most likely going to hold strong here as well. So like I said, I think that we have quite some time. I don't think that anything major is going to happen in terms of price action. I think that we're going to probably stay stable here. We'll have slight pullbacks here and there. Like I said, even on Twitter, I was talking about these bullish scenarios like Bitcoin breaking 44K to reclaim the 50, 100, 200. That's going to be a bullish scenario. Healthy scenario, a pullback to 34.7 to 36.3K before moving up above 44K plus. That would be very healthy. Then we also see the bearish, right? If we break below, I said 33.5K, but honestly, if we break 34.5K, that's pretty much where we get into that bearish zone. So right now, these are still key aspects to really look at for Bitcoin. These are what are important right now. Like, these price targets are very important, especially even on Bitcoin. And we are ranging here. The thing that concerns me, and I know a lot of people will say, well, it's not really concerning because we've already had a pullback in the market. But the thing that concerns me is that we haven't had a little bit of a healthy pullback. Like, a lot of people will say that this was since we ranged on 38.5K, but it wasn't that crazy of a healthy pullback. Like, even if we go back to when we were ranging to go to, this all-time high, you could see the pullbacks that happened every single time to go higher. It's healthy. It's needed. A lot of people think that corrections and pullbacks are like the end of the world in this game, and like anybody who thinks that they're going to happen is pretty much just dooming crypto. But that's not the case at all. Honestly, the agenda is we need pullbacks to go much higher. So obviously, this was a great pullback. This could be the healthy one for us to go much, much higher to 75 to 85K plus. I know a lot of people are saying 100K. We're going into a super cycle. A lot of that stuff, you know, it's not FUD, but it's the opposite of FUD. So it's like mass euphoria. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like, I have my sell targets set up on HBAR, on XRP, on all my altcoins. I'm going to sell at what I'm going to sell at. I'm not going to listen to somebody on Twitter saying, hey, you know, why are you selling HBAR at, or why are you taking profit on HBAR at $3 to $6 when, you know, you think that's going to $10? Or, hey, I think that it could go to $50 this bull run. Or XRP, right? XRP is one of those assets that, you know, you say, hey, I'm selling at $10, and they're like, why? When it's going to $100, to $1,000, to $10,000. Like, these people on Twitter, I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. A lot of them are just trying to get rich quick, and they don't realize that this is not a get rich quick scheme. Like, at some point in time, you got to separate emotions from the game. Like, you got to understand that, listen, you know, these pullbacks happen, even like a bear market, right? Because I've seen a lot of people get very frustrated when Bitcoin started to fall out. Everybody was scared. I got so many messages on Twitter. I was getting so many replies. Everybody was terrified. I even told everybody, listen, you got to be patient. Like, things are going to turn around. Like, this is not a bear market. You guys would know when a bear market comes. You know why? Because you will lose nearly all of your money that is invested if you were investing at these levels currently. Because, hey, 80% to 90% pullback on altcoins will happen during the bear market. Bitcoin will correct 80%. And we are not going to have a super cycle where we pretty much push for 4 years plus and not have another pullback at all for another 4 years. Like, the people that are pushing you guys that nonsense, I would not listen to that. Because a lot of this stuff is like pure hopium. It's wishful thinking. Trust me, I wish that Bitcoin would just continue to go up for 4 years and we'll never see a pullback at all, and we'll all be living on yachts and we'll have our mansions and our Lambos. Trust me, I want to get rich just as, you know, much as you guys do. But it doesn't happen overnight, and it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week, but it will happen eventually, as long as we are vigilant and we stay calm and patient and separate our emotions from the game. You know, you want to take profit at the end of the bull run because you want to, you know, reinvest that money into the bear market. You know, how great would it be, you know, for HBAR to go to $6, for an example, because that's one of my convenient, you know, pretty much conservative targets. It goes to $6, has an 80% pullback or a 90% pullback, and you get to reinvest all of that money that you just took profit on and pretty much gain a ton of HBAR, more than what you originally even had. You know, you could pretty much double, triple, quadruple your bags from taking profit. And if I listen to everybody on Twitter, I would honestly probably be broke by now in crypto. Because a lot of these people that say, hey, this is going to this price target or that price target, it's not based on fundamentals. When we talk about HBAR and XRP, like, I mainly talk about utility assets because I love utility in this space. I think utility is what is going to drive the prices of all these cryptos, especially even when we talk about, because I love to compare, you know, S&P 500, Dow, NASDAQ, all of that to crypto and their total market cap. I even said that today, right? I said that at some point in time, cryptocurrencies will rally against stocks, and we will basically reach the stock market total market cap at some point in time, which is like $20 trillion. And we will be well worth more than that at some point in time. Like, I think at, you know, by the end of 2030, we'll probably be at about $50 to $100 trillion plus for the total market cap of crypto. And just to give you guys a little insight, you know, we were only at about $2.5 trillion this bull run, and a lot of people were making money. A lot of people have been making money off of crypto since even, you know, 2010. So I think that we are in very early stages of crypto adoption and crypto in general, but I am not going to hodl my bags for another 10 years and not sell a single asset. Like, that's just not the right way to do things. Like, we take profit and make life-changing wealth. so that we don't have to slave away and work every single day and kill ourselves pretty much every single day slaving away for a dollar wage. And this is what is going to free us. You know, crypto and these assets have the power to really, you know, release those shackles off of, you know, financial burdens and financial stress. And that's where we will see the idea of turning the wealth that we create in crypto into even more wealth, and at some point in time create generational wealth so that our kids and their kids don't have to really slave away at all either. So with that being said, I wanted to do a quick live video, pretty much chat with you guys a little bit about what's going on with the market. Loving the market today. Glad to see you going live. Yep, definitely. I think that the market's doing great things, right? There's a few things to look at. There's a few things to analyze. There's a lot of support zones to really kind of break still. And we are still kind of far out on a lot of things. Like, for example, we're still far out on Bitcoin until we actually see some momentum really kind of being pushed. But things are looking good. I will completely admit with you guys, I'm very bullish on crypto. I just think that it's going to take a little bit more time. I think that we still have some time to accumulate. By the way, if you guys want to buy XRP, I see that Rebecca's pretty much asking that. If you want to buy XRP, you could pretty much click the referral link to Uphold in my description and also in my channel, and basically we both earn like $10 in Bitcoin or something like that. But Uphold is the way to go for XRP. You could also buy HBAR on Uphold as well. I trust Uphold. It's pretty good. If you guys don't want your crypto locked up though for 65 days, don't use a bank account, use a debit card, just to give you guys that insight. But yeah, I mean, I'm very bullish on crypto nonetheless. Can you do another video on Jigstack? I'm confused on what they are doing. Website is a mess. I could do another video on Jigstack at some point in time. I definitely want to talk a little bit more about Jigstack and kind of talk about the fundamentals of the project as well, and kind of talk to you guys a little bit about the earnings as well. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my update. I think that we still have some time on Bitcoin until we really see some breaking out on HBAR and also XRP. Gave you guys a little bit of an insight on the DXY as well as Bitcoin dominance. Really would love to see the dollar back to these levels down here, which I do think that in the coming times, as you know, inflation is rising and rising and rising with hyperinflation. I think that we could definitely see these levels being breached down here. With that being said, I think that, you know, Bitcoin dominance also still needs to drop quite a bit. I think that by the end of this bull run, we'll most likely hit about 30+%. So very bullish. I think that we have some great gains to be made here soon. So definitely watching the stock markets, watching the indices, watching the DXY, watching Bitcoin dominance, and mainly watching Bitcoin. If you guys are still stuck in watching altcoins right now, I really wouldn't be watching altcoins all that much. They're not really important right now. What's really important is Bitcoin and these targets that I have mentioned here. If you guys want to use these targets, please do. Once we break one of them, once we hit one of them, that is where you can pretty much see the entire market going. So always look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is king still. It sucks to say, but hey, until we do see Bitcoin dominance pretty much fall to pretty much nothing and Bitcoin lose its #1 spot, which I do say, you know, it's going to happen at some point in time, especially a utility coin will most likely flip it. That's when we'll basically see some major bullish moves in the overall market, and we never have to look at Bitcoin again. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this little bit of a live video. If you guys were tuning in on just a video, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, and turn notifications on. But nonetheless, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys in a later video. I do plan on uploading a lot more videos today. So with that being said,